Hi everyone, this is module number 245 for the subject of strategic human resource management. And in this module, we will talk about some forms of resistance to change. I hope you people remember that in the last module, we were talking about employees' resistance to change. And it is the most difficult area for the HR professionals to tackle with or to cope with. And in the last module, we also talked about that employees may resist for the change or resist to change for some good reasons. They may see that it is unethical. They may see that it is not good for the organization. They may see that the change will result in a disaster for the organization. So in this module, we will learn about how or what type of resistance to change they can adapt or they can show. So many traditional change programs are based on a rationalist view of human nature and therefore emphasize the importance of rational arguments. So it can be useful to think of resistance as having three components. Well, you can imagine that you are working in an organization or people are working in an organization and they are at the different positions and they have the different attitude, different behavior, different personality. Some people have emotional stability while the others don't have emotional stability. Some people are financially stable and they can quit the organization, leave the organization. Some people, they are very tolerant and they may like to go along with experimenting new things. So different type of people. So definitely the resistance to change would be in different forms, or there could be levels that at the first level, second level, and the third level. So something as an example, understanding here, behavioral resistance. So that is the perhaps highest level of resistance because behavior is your action. So behavioral resistance when employees are not complying with the organizational policies, inaction, or they are in a very defense mode. They simply say no. For example, you are told that your job would be 9 to 6 now onward. Previously, you may be working 9 to 5. Now it's a major change for the employee's life, or it can have a significant impact on employee's life. What would be the form of resistance to change? Some employees or many employees may be simply not complying with this policy. They leave at 5 o'clock and they say, okay, whatsoever it is, 9 to 5 is justified. I'm doing lunch within the organization. It is justified that I'm in the organization. That hour should be counted. So employees may not be complying, maybe defines, simply say no, and they defy that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to email that. I'm not going to document this thing because they see it is unnecessary at all and they have nothing. So emotional resistance, a set of emotions including anxiety and frustration. Simply, as I said, that the behavioral resistance to change is the highest level of resistance because those employees who are showing the behavioral resistance might lose their job, unfortunately. So some employees who cannot afford that, or they have a fear of job, or they think that it is very hard to find a job in the current situation in any other organization. So they may have an emotional disturbance, but they may not resist behaviorally. So they may be feeling anxiety and frustration. And anxiety is a kind of thing which is not bad up to that extent as much is the stress. Because in terms of anxiety, it is different from depression. So employees are not going in depression, but anxiety. In terms of when we understand anxiety, it is sometimes a little positive that employees are trying to cope with the situation and they are trying to put some efforts So emotional disturbance anyway is simply another form of resistance. Cognitive resistance, negative thoughts about change such as unreadiness to change or reluctance. So emotional cognitive resistance is something mentally when they have chosen to resist the change, and they are not willing to mentally accept that change. Some other forms of cognitive resistance to change includes psychological withdrawal. This is what I discussed, and it is very common in social sciences. This observation is very common. Simply psychological withdrawal from the organization. You think that the company or organization has psychologically breached the contract, or the change is not good, or it is unethical. So your cognitive, the mental attachment and association with the organization is gone, and might be you are pulling back your efforts and time and energy, and you withdraw from your energy into your job. So this is quite important to understand that these three forms of resistance. So as HR professionals, you need to see that employees are showing might be cognitive resistance, and you are not realizing that, but it can sabotage any change program. Thank you.